Hello. Welcome to TRG Central. Tonight we'll be covering the TRG 2023 Road to the Triple Crown series. This is episode number 6. Episode 6 continues our coverage of the 2023 Road to the Triple Crown series. We go over populating the fields for both the Preakness Stakes and the Black-Eyed Susan. Then we'll run the Black-Eyed Susan and the Preakness Stakes races. Now, in order to populate the field, we'll use the results from the Kentucky Derby and previous prep races to announce our field. For the Black-Eyed Susan, we'll use the top 4 finishers in the Kentucky Oaks, along with 4 others that will decide on once we take a look at some statistics. And for the Preakness, we'll go with the top 5 horses from the Kentucky Derby. They'll qualify for the Preakness, and we'll add 4 more horses based on statistics from the prep races, similar to the Black-Eyed Susan. You see up in front of us, this is the top horses so far in the road to the Triple Crown. You see Angel Empire leads with 220 victory points, and it looks like Hit Show probably has the most winning over the course of the series. So let's go ahead and take a look at, well, first, I wanted to also go into the installation of issue 2 of the Road to the Triple Crown subscription service that's available at asrggames.com. And in order to do that, you first have to put the data disks in their proper folders. So let's bring this here up. And this is their TRG folder, and the 2 main folders that we use for data disk and updating seasons within the game is the data disk folder and the updates folder. The data disk folder you'll have in your zip file, a file called TRGO 2023K Road to the Triple Crown Series version 2-3 issue 2. If you have not installed any of the previous data disks, like issue 0 or 1, or starting out fresh, you can use this, and this has the complete information that is contained within the set. Now, the reason why I have version 2-3 is owners of the TRG Windows game must be on release version 2.3. Anybody that's on version 2.2 should go back over to the AFCgames.com free files section and download the most current version of the game. Now, if you've already added either issue 1 or issue 0 to your game, you'll have a file that you put into the update folder called TRG Update 2023K Issue 2. Issue 2 is a cumulative update. In other words, if you have released the base issue 0, installed in the game, if you run the update for using issue 2, it will install all the new horses, races, and so forth that were in the issue 1 of the update, and also data disks for issue 0 and issue 1. Okay, and then you would come over here on the screen and click on menu, then go to data disk utilities. And again, if you're using the subscription for the first time, you would go into the data disk and you would then find the season, and that would be this one here. If you've already updated your game with one of the data disks for either issue 0 or issue 1, you can come to the update folder, which you would place the update for issue 2, that's this. You see it shows up here, and then you would click on it and it would install the update to your season. Okay, so let's go back in and see if we can create the fields for both the Black-Eyed Susan and Preakness. So one thing you may want to do is go back to your reports. And first we're going to take a look at the rating just to show you how issue 2 is different from issue 1 and issue 0. Just a little background. Originally in issue 0 or issue 1, all the horses that were in the prep races received a card, and the card would have been 2023-0. If the horse's year is 2023-1, that means he received a card for issue 1. Also, you'll see some that have 2023-2. That means the card was issued for in issue 2. So you can see some horses already now have a couple of cards. You can see here, Affirmative Lady has one for 2023 which was the original prep races, and then Affirmative Lady 2, which means she must have ran in the Kentucky Oaks. You can come down here to the filters, and just by doing the filter, you can see how many horses were added to issue 1. And you can use this here and just slide over to see you have 4 horses for issue 1. Come down here into 2, and for issue 2 you can see all the horses that were added for issue 2. Now the reason why there's so many, because once all the horses ran in the Kentucky Derby or the Kentucky Oaks, they all received new cards based on their Kentucky Derby or Kentucky Oaks race. Also, there's a few horses that are entered into the Preakness or Black-Eyed Susan that did not have a card in issue 0 or issue 1, so they'll have a card. I think one of them on this list here may have been Perform. I don't think Perform has a card other than the one for issue 2. So take a quick look, put this back to all years, and do a refresh. And we go down to Perform. And you can see, and so you can see Philly, both of those horses, this is their first card. And that's important when you fill out the Black-Eyed Susan or Preakness or later on when the Belmont Stakes and Acorn Stakes are added to the set via issue 3, and it would behoove you to use the most current card for the race that you're running. In other words, for the Preakness, you would use the most current card that's either, that would be the 2023 2 if they have one. If they have one, then you would use the 1, and if they have a 0, you would use the 0. It would be whichever one is the most current. Like you see here, like Red Route 1. Red Route 1 was entered into the Preakness, you would use 2023 2, not 2023 0. And you see in this case, he pretty much stayed the same. Not a whole lot changed in his card going from the original preparations card to the Preakness card. And you can see that among quite a few of these. The one would be very interesting to look at would be Mage. Mage did not have a very impressive prep season, as he ended up with an 82. Still a pretty good rating, but not the top of the class. But once he ran the Kentucky Derby, we regenerated the card. You can see now he's a 95, and that card would be the one you use for the Preakness, and the 82, the 0 card with the 82 dirt rating should be the one that's used in the Kentucky Derby. So, let's see what, yeah. So next up, we're going to take a look at both of the races from the last episode. So we'll take a look at the Kentucky Derby final, and you see the hit show, Angel Empire, Instant Coffee, Tapestry, and Total, and Two Fields all are qualified, well, all qualified to enter the Preakness race. And then we go over to the Kentucky Oaks final, and we're taking the top 4 horses there. So that's Fraser, Freddie Machivius, Cabanella, and Wonder Wheel. Those 4 horses automatically qualify for the Black Eyed Susan. And then for the Black Eyed Susan, we'll add 4 more horses. And for the Preakness, we'll add 4 more horses there too. So in order to get them, we would just go and take a look at the horse's stats. So, here's stats. You can also go back and see the standings, maybe take the next couple horses there. We were doing the Black Eyed Susan. We do something like this. We can click on winnings and sort it, and you take a look at, you can see the top 4 fillies are for the top 4 horses in our Kentucky Oaks race. And then from there on, you can take whatever 4 you like. We decided to go with And Tell Me Knowles. And then we're going to use Chop Chop, Sacred Wish, and Wet Paint down here. And one reason why we did this, we took a look at the newest cards for the fillies. And saw that And Tell Me Knowles has a new card. So did Wet Paint. So we decided out of the top horses there to add them because they had a new card created in issue 2. And then we did Chop Chop and Sacred Wish because, I guess because I wanted to. Alright, so we go to the mail, do the same thing. We take a look at their winnings. And the same thing happened here. The top 4 horses in the Kentucky Derby are the highest winnings horses. We also decided on 2 fields because he was the 5th. He was in 5th place. And then we added 4 more. A lot of horse racing fans really wanted to see Forte enter, so we're going to add Forte salvage. Here, you can see he just has a 2023 O card, so, and he has done quite well in our series. He just didn't make the cut, so we're going to add him. Same thing with Mage, since Mage won the real life Kentucky Derby, I've decided to add him, and we'll use his new card. You see his new card doesn't have any statistics yet. So we'll use his 2023 card. And I also decided, oops, there we go. Also decided on Classic Car Watch since he's 5th highest money winner in our series. And Mr. Ripple, because he managed to win one great race over Verifying, who only managed a grade 2 race. So, anyway, those are our horses. So we'll go over and do the schedule. Click on that, and you see we're at the Black Eyed Susan. Now, we're not going to run any heat races, so we're going to skip them all. Because we're just going to run complete fields with Black Eyed Susan with 8 and Preakness with 9. So, then, since we have these all skipped, we just hit run next scheduled race. And it'll ask me if I want to skip it. I do, so now we're at the week to run the Black Eyed Susan and Preakness. So we'll add the fields. Okay, for Black Eyed Susan, and what we're going to do, we're just going to add the 8 horses that we decided to qualify for the race, and then we'll use the random post positions on the schedule to assign post positions. So we're just going to put the horses in the list here as I have them on my list. And of course the first 4 are the top 4 horses in the Kentucky Oaks. And now, as you see, we're using Pretty Mischievous's 2023 2 card, not her 2023 0 card. Because this card was made after she ran the Kentucky Oaks, so it's the most current. Next one is Capella. Only has 1 card, so we use that one. Wonder Wheel came in 4th. She has 2 cards, so we'll pull the newest card, although they're both rated about the same. It looks like there's a whole lot of difference there. And then we decided arbitrarily on Tell Me No, so we'll take her 2023 2 card, new Chop Chop, Sacred Wish, and Wet Paint. Wet Paint has 2 cards, so we'll get 2023 2. The other thing we need to check is the jockeys. And you see we have one duplicate. Oh, we have two duplicates. Oh, let's see it one the wheel out a second. Nope. What paint? Nope. So let's see what paint. We'll see if we can find a 4 rated jockey. Yeah, and Taurus is not named, so here you go. Right, what paint? And Tyler, which is riding pretty mischievous, so we need to see what here we go. We'll try, yeah, Juan Hernandez isn't a jockey on any, so rated the same, so we'll go with that. Okay, so there's our field for the Black Eyed Susan. We'll save it. Exit out. We'll go back here now. You see we edit the field, 8 entries. We can now do post position, randomize them. Here's to where they were. And here they are now with chop chop and wet paint 1, 2. Okay, so they're done. Next up is adding the field for the Preakness. Same here, we'll take the top 5, so hit show on the Preakness. So we'll use his 2 cards. Angel Empire came in second. We'll use his number 2 card. Instant Coffee. And not running the real life Kentucky Derby, but finished third in the North, so he'll use his original card. Tap it twice. He ran in the real life Kentucky Derby and finished 4th in our Kentucky Derby, so we'll use his 2 cards. And then 5th qualifier from the Kentucky Derby is Field. He also ran in the real life Kentucky Derby, so with his card there. And then again we added 4 horses. So Classic Car Wash used his original card. Mr. Ripple. Used his original card. Forte. Used his original card. And Mage. We'll use his Kentucky Derby card, although he did not finish in the top 5 in the Kentucky Derby since he won the real life one. We'll go ahead and put him in with his most current card. We'll save the field. Whoops. Let's go back. We need to do a change here. Instant Coffee. Okay, so 2 twice 4. We'll have Friction Torres ride him. Anybody else duplicated? No. No. Okay, I think we're set now. Save the field. Now let's edit to make sure the change took place okay. And you see Christian Torres is good there, so we're good for that. Let's do the post positions. randomize them. Here's the order that we enter them. And here's the order for the Preakness. Post Mission 1 is Classic Car Wash. Post Mission 2, Angel Empire. Mage, the real life Kentucky Derby winner is Post Mission 6. And Post Mission 8, Hit Show, that's our Kentucky Derby winner, will be in lane 8. So, all set. So we're ready to run the races. So let's go ahead and do that. Whoops. Does help if we lock them. Now we're set to go. Okay, first race, Black Eyed Susan. We already randomized post positions. Here's your odds. You see there's quite a few that are outside chances. And pretty mischievous and Frazone are Frazon is our Kentucky Oats winner. And we added Wet Paint, and she has a pretty good chance. So we can come here and view past performances. And you can see the past performances of the horses. Now, in the past performances, as you can see, even though the 2023 2 card has not been used yet, it picked up all the races that were raced under the horse's name, not just the year. Okay. So I think that's about it. Let's go to the track. It's gonna be 9-furlong race, $300,000 at Pimlico. So let's go to Pimlico and get the race started. Go the fields 1 to the end. You got Chop Chop, Wet Paint, Wonder Wheel, Capella, Sacred Wish, Tell Me Knowles, Phaser, and Pretty Mischievous. Oh. Let's go ahead and check the Stewart Tower. Everything looks okay. The horses are in the starting gate, and they're off. First out of the gate was Fazza. Until we know, Noli took the lead out of the gate. Going through the first turn, we have Wet Paint and Tell Me Noli. Wet Paint now leading the pack. In the back, but Tell Me Noli caught up, but now we have Noli now taking the lead going into the home stretch. And now it's Pretty Mischievous. And Pretty Mischievous is putting on a show and may won the race. She did. Other Stewart inquiry, so we'll have to check the top board for the final results. And Sacred Wish is disqualified. And placed last, we take a look here. We'll see Sacred Wish. Stewart inquiry, Sacred Wish disqualified and placed last. Okay, so that's it. Pretty Mischievous wins the race. Honey goes second, Wet Paint third, and Tell Me Noli's fourth. So that's it for the Black Eyed Susan. Let's go ahead and we'll quickly view the field again for the Preakness. There we go, Gothic Carwad, Angel Empire, tap it twice. Tap it twice. Two fields, Mr. Ripple, Mage, Forte, Hit Show, and Instant Coffee. Remember, Mage is the real life Kentucky Derby winner. Hit Show was our road to the Triple Crown Kentucky Derby winner. Okay, looks like everything's all set. It is locked, so let's go ahead and get to the track. There's your odds. Odds are a little better than what the odds were for Black Eyed Susan. There's only a couple horses that are considered long shots. So, favorites are Angel Empire and Mage. It Show doesn't seem to be very well in the morning line. We'll see how well he does in this race. Oh, looks like we're all set. This is a 9.5 furlong race, $1.5 million purse, running at Pimlico. So let's go to the track. And we've already gone through these, so we'll just look through them real quick. There's Mage, the real Kentucky Derby winner in post 6. Forte, that's one of the favorites that in real life fans wish that he had ran in both races. And Hit Show, our Kentucky Derby winner, and Instant Coffee. Okay, let's go to the Stewart Tower. Looks like everything is okay, no scratches, so looks like we're ready to run. One thing can mention, it looks like Classic Car Wash be out of the gate first. And I guess we're ready. And they're off. You see, going into the first turn, we have a pretty heated race with 5, 6 horses all within one space of each other. And going into the back turn, we have Angel Empire and Tap It Twice and Two Fields and Forte. And a very, very close race with 5, 6 horses all bunched up. Angel Empire and Mage seem to be the horses out front of the pack, but Tap It Twice catches up. So there's, wow, Williams out. A very, very good race. We have 3 horses at the finish line. We even have a jockey inquiry. Could be very interesting as it takes a few seconds to put the final official results on the board. We're thinking it's Forte, Two Fields, and Angel of Empire. Mage coming in fourth. And Hit Show looks like maybe 6. So let's take a look at the total. And there you have it. Angel Empire, Forte, Two Fields, and Mage. Hit Show, our Kentucky Derby winner, came in 8th. The real life Kentucky Derby winner came in 4th. Angel Empire by a neck over Forte and by a head over Two Fields. So let's go ahead and come back over to our top 10 list. See how that shakes out after the 2 races. And then you have an Angel Empire. That'll have 370 points. Now, also, this does say combined stats for multiple cars, but when you have a Kentucky Derby data disc, or road to the Kentucky Derby data disc, you said if you come over here, take a look at data disc once again, and you kind of look over this great new, you see it can be flagged as the road to the Kentucky Derby data disc. Once that happens, then any of the listings for results for the Kentucky Derby will show all of their cards combined. So as you see, Angel Empire, there's Faldena with 230 points on the Phillies side. Again, we'll do the same thing as we did with the Black Eyed Susan and Preakness for the Belmont Stakes and Acorn Stakes. We'll take the top finishers in the Preakness and the Black Eyed Susan to qualify for the races, and then we'll go through all the statistics for the Phillies and males and determine what horses will add to the fields for both of those races. So I think that's it from TRG Central. I hope you enjoyed the Black Eyed Susan and Preakness races. So this is Gary signing off. Have a wonderful evening.